Hey guys, welcome back to the Creator Podcast. This is episode 9, I believe, and I have a great guest for you guys. Anybody who loves film or plays or just creating shows or you're thinking about it, this is a perfect episode for you to check out. This is the Creator Podcast where I focus on the art of things in life and what people think and create and put to work. And this episode right here is about a film that a creator thought up and had a great cast and an executive producer to support him to make that be what it is. And he takes us through the process of start to finish. We get to talk to the cast, we get to talk to the executive producer of it, and we get to really get an insight on what it takes to really create a great film and what it's like to have the proper support to do so. So if that's something you're interested in, today's episode will be great. My name is Chantal. Again, this is the Creator Podcast, and yeah, let's just get into it. Hey guys, welcome to the Creator Podcast. This is episode 9. My name is Shan, and I have a cast of That's Life film, and I'm going to pick their brains. And if you are a creator who is thinking about doing a film, and you want to know like what's the process in 2026 or what's the process to get to dropping something probably in a couple of years, this is a great show for you guys to listen to. So we have the cast and we have the director, and we're gonna pick brains. I'm gonna pick brains, ask questions. So Jason,
Yes.
we have That's Life, right? And you've done really good from my aspect of pushing the film. Baylor from BTG for President podcast, he hit me up and he was like, I have somebody that is doing the film and they basically want to push it out there. Does anybody want to put them on the show? Because we have like a pod fam crew of podcasters.
I love it.
I was like, me? I've never had a film creator on this podcast that have created a show. I've had painters, I've had sculptors, I've had authors, but never like someone doing a film. So for me, I want to thank all of y'all for giving me time and coming on here to talk about it. You created a film basically about your grieving process of things that you didn't ask your grandfather in a particular time frame. And I think that's super relatable because a lot of people feel like they always have time to ask these things or have that moment with people.
Yeah.
And you really don't. Even if somebody's in their 30s, you don't know if you might see them next week. So I like that aspect of it. What got you from thinking about your own personal experience and saying, I want to make a film about this?
It started off with that question. It was a question I asked myself. It was, is my grandfather proud of me? And that snowballed into what would that conversation have been like if I was able to have it with him?
Right.
And then that snowballed into me writing the actual script last year. Because and a lot of people don't know this, but before I actually wrote that script, I actually took a hiatus. Because Mo and I had worked on 5 films back in 2022, and we did a really, really good job. But that showed me how much I still needed to not only learn, but do. And so I literally stopped. I worked on redeveloping everything. I redefined my mission statement and everything of that nature. I told myself I wanted to do whatever I could to redo everything. And ironically, that's kind of like the gist of the character Joseph Henderson's approach to his motivational speeches is the revision mindset. How do you revise your life and make little changes here and there so that the end goal or the outcome of that would be better? So I did that, and the first project that came out of my brain was That's Life. And I take that wholeheartedly. I cherish that. And ironically, 2 weeks after I wrote it, I lost my maternal grandmother. So I didn't realize I would need that film even before it was introduced to anybody. So I was appreciative of that. And that's essentially how I kind of came up with that. It was something I needed for my own personal emotional closure and healing.
Yeah. So it was like preparation, but you didn't know it was gonna be preparation.
Mhm.
That's good.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
with that, from what you know now, what is like some advice you would give for people who need to have an important talk with somebody they care about?
Do it. Don't wait. Even if it's just a hey, how you doing?
Hmm.
Most people are text now, so you can do it, but literally just say something.
Yeah.
Reach out, text, wave, send a pigeon, send a smoke signal, something. Just something to get in touch with them. And I would honestly say do it now. And something my wife had told me to do because she did it with her grandmother. When you're with them, doesn't matter if you feel like they're gonna leave or if you are the same age, record those moments, take those photos, um, embrace those feelings and cherish all of them. Because even for like me, my only remaining grandmother is 97 years old. So I'm filming everything. I'm taking the photos. I'm doing everything I can so that when that day comes, and I know it's gonna come, but when that day comes, because it's gonna come for all of us,
Hmm.
I can say, I wonder. I don't have to ask. I wonder how she sounds, or I wonder what she looks like. I'll know,
Yeah.
and I won't have to worry about it. So, for me, the only advice I could say is just reach out, talk to them, reach out, talk to them, reach out, talk to them.
Hmm.
That's the only thing I can tell you.
And if you're local, pop up.
Yeah,
You know what
really,
I'm saying? Just
really.
pop up.
Drive, take the bus,
Yeah.
take an Uber, take a Lyft,
Yeah.
take a scooter, go somewhere.
I think when older people get to a certain age, they feel unneeded and they love a pop up, whereas younger people are just like, "Why are you here? why,
Yeah.
why are you coming over here?"
Yep.
But
Yep.
yeah, so it's always good to do a pop up and follow your gut feeling. Like sometimes you
Yeah.
haven't talked to a person in a while, and you feel like you should just go
Hmm.
with your gut. It doesn't have to be more than that.
Yeah. And I'll add one more thing too.
Yeah,
Don't allow your pride to stop you from reaching out. Because sometimes we will say, well, why couldn't they just call me? Or why won't they just text me? Why don't you just stop being prideful and just reach out yourself? Even if you know that that person hates you, at the end of the day, at least you said, at least I tried to reach out.
yeah. When I was reading the email, I love the connections of the characters and the names. And I was like, when you have such everything like connected like that, I think is divine. Like I think it's something that was supposed to happen, something that was supposed to be thought through to create. So when it came to picking your cast, did you know them beforehand? Or was it okay, I know this person that does
Just chill.
this person that does this, maybe if
You,
I can talk them into like this idea.
you know what's crazy? Terry knows. Terry actually was one of the people that I brought in when I was doing a read just to see what it sounded like.
Hmm.
And he did a really good job then. And I knew that I wanted to see what he would do now with this project, right?
Yeah.
But for the casting, I was able to work with an amazing casting director in Lacey who has literally cast what 8 of my projects.
Mhm.
And she put out the notice, and that's how we found Kia. And I kid you not, I looked at Kia that first time and I said, okay, so we got to look at other people. Why do we need to? Okay, so we got to do that. Okay, I'm going to look at everybody else.
Mhm.
And then as soon as it was over, I'm like, I already know who I want. And they're like, so you want to just look at this other person? I'm like, sure, why not? And I looked at it again and I'm like, so why are we still having this conversation?
Right.
Okay, sure. I'll entertain it. But I was blessed to find Kia that way. I was blessed to find Maria that way. I was blessed to find Paul that way. Terry actually worked with me on Me, Myself, and Guys.
Nice.
And it was actually another TV show that myself and Monique were a part of creating, in writing too. And now with this project, Monique is on board as my executive producer. So that was a new journey for both of us. And for the fact that we're both Panamanian too, it's like even better. I'm like, Panamanians rule the world. I don't care what anybody say.
We're connected. We're locked in. I like that.
That's how we do it.
Okay. So you said the movie idea started last year?
Yes, last year in March. Yeah, March.
Okay. So from when you knew it was going to go from an idea to something you're actually going to get done, how did you time out the timeline on like the start to completion?
I just took my time. I made sure everything was aligned. I made sure everything was put in place. I think the one thing that I wanted to do with this project was to be intentional with making sure that everything was done a certain way. Um, because sometimes we as creatives sometimes get antsy and we rush and we want to get to, because it's like, this is a great idea. Let me just get it out and let me just, and then we get it and they're like, dang, I missed that. I missed that. I missed that. I should have done this. I should have done that. So with this one, I wanted to take my time to get everything in line. And I think I didn't think I went to Mo until what, November, December, where I really try to really figure out what I wanted to do. And I had to sit with it for a while. I think even the conversation that Joseph has with his grandfather, I had to sit with that for at least a month or so because I didn't know what that conversation was going to be. And eventually it came out. And of course, I had to sit my grandfather's picture right next to my computer screen as I was writing that conversation. And boy, did that bring back a whole lot of memories and pain.
Yeah, because it had to be authentic. It had to come from a real place. Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy.
Did you have like a movie or a film that you envisioned this being like, or a style of, when the idea came up, or you just was going to create it from scratch?
No, I usually try. Anytime I try to compare it or take influences from other films or projects, it always ends up coming out as an original anyway. Like it ends up being its own thing. Not because I try to do it, but just simply because sometimes that's just the way that the story goes. Sometimes you can create something and then it just ends up going in another circle, another direction, and you're like, okay, this is where it's going to be, you know? Even from conversations I had with Mo about certain things we were looking for to add into the script, it was like, all right, so let's see how this fits, let's see how that fit. And it ended up just becoming what it was, you know? But as far as influence, not creatively, but I would say from a statement standpoint, I wanted this project to be my Boys in the Hood. I wanted this project to be my Do the Right Thing. I wanted this project to be my Fruitvale Station. I wanted it to be that one signature piece, that indie piece that everyone looks at and says, this is something that I can play in 25 years and enjoy it and understand it, and it won't be over my head. And that's what I envisioned when I came with That's Life.
Talk to me about your cast. Was it like filming with like friends or family, or do you put on a different hat when you're like?
Nah, I tell them when they start, we building this together.
Yeah,
we are building this together. That's family right there. I honestly feel like just from the moment, and I know Kia and Terry can speak to this, but just from the moment that they got on set when we did our table read, it wasn't a situation where everybody fell out of place. It was like everybody felt like they knew each other. I think at one point I felt like even when I'm looking at Kia and Maria and I'm like, y'all sure y'all met each other like today?
That's good. That's good chemistry.
Okay. I'm like, y'all could have fooled me.
Right.
You know, and even with the work that Kia and Terry put in just to make sure that they landed everything, it was an atmosphere. And Mo can talk to this too. Every time I film anything, it's always that family atmosphere, because I feel like in order for them to bring out their best selves and to bring out the best part of the character that they're playing, they have to be comfortable. But not only do they have to be comfortable, but they have to feel like they have the freedom to do whatever they need to do. And that was the one thing that I hope I created, because I know that's what I wanted to do.
Nice. So I'm gonna pick the brains of your cast now.
Please do.
So, Terry, what was it like playing your character? And when you read the script,
Mhm.
did you instantly envision what Jason wanted, or was it okay? This is my way I'm going to go about it.
So originally, when I read it and when we read together, my job, I feel, as an actor, as a storyteller, is to be as most authentic as I can to every piece that I'm blessed to be a part of. So that's why I always want to get with the director, who just so happened to be the writer as well, to figure out what message it is we want to say, or what he's trying to say, and how are we trying to say it, and being able to, because we both said that we want to be able to produce something where people can confide in it, that we can intercede for people that's gone through this or that are going through this, to try to get, like Jason said earlier, get them to it, whether it's pride or whatever it may be, to pick up the phone and call and make that last contact. So when I was doing my script analysis, I saw I saw a lot of similarities of myself and my real life, Terry's life, in what Joseph was portraying, or how his life is. Like, I don't necessarily want to call myself a workaholic, but I'm the type of, like, like, I have a servant's heart. So, like, if I am a workaholic, it's not even for myself. It's like I might be fifth, sixth on that list, right? I'm trying to make sure my wife, my son, taking care of everybody, taken care of. But in the midst of getting pulled left and right, trying to work and bring in food to the table, I miss certain things. I feel like I get taken away from my family, who I'm trying to provide for. So it's like this kind of give or take thing. So I interceded and confided in Joseph with that, but I know I wanted to take that to, like, times 10. You know what I mean? Like, because if you read the script, when you see the film and things like that, we see Joseph feels like he's right at the beginning. I'm not going to spoil anything, but he feels like he has the right to feel the way he does. And a lot of us do. We're prideful people by nature, right? So it was like, it ain't my fault, it's their fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, we quick to do that type of energy. But and then unfortunately, when that time is called or that day comes, like Jason said, it's like, unless we all on the other side together one day, that's it. Like, we can't really, I don't want anybody to live with regret when a simple phone call could be able to get some healing from it. And that's what I wanted to make sure I could do with my portrayal of Joseph, is to be able to give people encouragement, healing, get through some trauma or whatever it may be. Every time that I play a character on screen, on stage, if I'm voiceover, I want you to leave with something. Because otherwise, if you're not leaving with something, you come in like you are, and you leave as you came, type of deal. It's like, did I do my job? Like, what y'all come to see me for? And especially if you pay money. You pay money just to be like, eh.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to be like, eh, to anything I do, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, what can I do? How can I do my homework? How can I, like, I'm a praying man. So, like, I'm literally asking God to give me the insight I need to be able to let this be a catalyst, a message for people, whoever sees it, you know what I mean? Like that. So that's how I approach my characters, even if I'm playing villains or whatever it may be, because I want people to get some kind of healing out of it. I want to put the medicine in the burger. I want to do whatever it takes. But I hope that answered your question. I'm very long-winded, so forgive me.
It did. Give me like a thorough insight on. I think a lot of times when you watch a film and the character is like embodying who they're supposed to be portraying, you can tell that they connected to that character before they press record or whatever. And you could tell some other people didn't really care to put their all into it. So that kind of makes sense. And that's what makes a film great, is I feel like everybody was who they needed to be in this film. So that's a good thing. Kia, how was your experience? How did you connect with the character?
I'm similar to Terry, where I strongly believe that, you have to be as authentic as possible, and you also have to find yourself in the character. Jason, thank you so much for all the kind things you were saying about my audition tape. I felt like I was kind of, I was playing how Kia would be in that situation. I found a lot of Kia in Serenity. I tend to be a person that people go to when they need anything. Serenity is very calm, hence her name being Serenity. Kia can be a little big sometimes. I kind of overreact in some situations, but at the end of the day, like, there's still those moments of like, hey, this is a situation. What do we need? How do we get through it? So on and so forth. Let's think logically. Let's think from all perspectives. And I feel like that's who Serenity is in this situation. trying to be that, voice of reason for Joseph in this time. But yeah, I don't know. I was on tour. I'm gonna be so honest. I was on tour when I got this audition. And so when I when I read the script, I did my audition video in the dressing room after a show. So I think there were a lot of like chaos around me too, which was a fun element of finding the calm piece of serenity amidst the chaos, which also is something that's going on in the show as well, in That's Life, because we're in a dressing room and he's on tour and there is chaos outside, like literally outside the door there are people moving set pieces, and we had somebody on our set like moving a ladder and stuff, and they don't know what's going on in the room. So just finding that authentic moment. But yeah, I try to stay as grounded as possible and make sure people leave with something, and that was serenity to me.
Yeah. Nice. I like how everybody's connecting with who they played.
Yeah.
That's actually my executive producer, Monique.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So who played Vita?
I know. It's like the director and the cat.
Yeah. Maria wasn't able to join us, and neither was Paul, but they send their blessings.
Okay.
Yes.
So from your aspect of it, what was your, experience just watching this film come together with all of the cast members and what Jason wanted the film to be?
Yeah, for sure. Hello, everyone watching the show. Happy to be here. I'm Monique Palma. I am the EP of That's Life. So really what an executive producer does is maintain the vision of the director, the creator. And as Jason has, shouted me out quite a few times during his portion of the interview, we've been working together for over 6 years now as Panamanians. Shout out Panama, wish we won our World Cup game. And so basically what I do is just protect the vision. We're going to win the next one. We're going to beat Croatia, I promise. But I protect the vision of Jason. And as an executive producer, selecting the projects that you choose to attach your name to are very important. And I have so much respect for Jason by the way that he leads his projects, right? So like he said, he reached out to me probably like, a few months into kind of pouring his heart out onto the paper. And we did like so many reviews of the script. And that was probably the least amount of reviews I've done for a script ever. Just touching base. And that's how you know that like his story was very real and very like true to his feelings and his storytelling like abilities. And so it's just an honor to work with someone who's dedicated to the craft and dedicated to like having their stories on screen. And so it makes my job a lot easier. I'm just handling the business side of things for most of the thing, like promotions and making sure that everyone is connected and on the same page for shoot day, for pre-shoot, for table reads, for post-pro, like all of the things. I'm just making sure that everything goes exactly as he plans and filling in any gaps that Jason has. From the story itself, it's so ironic. It's so beautiful, which is why I'm obsessed with films. I created What We Watch because film and TV literally saved my life. And this story is so crazy and so beautiful because we were on set. It was a one-day shoot, a very lean production. And it's beautiful what comes out of just community and bringing together. But I'm on the set and I get a call from my mom that my abuela is in the hospital, legit. And I'm like, this is crazy. And I tell my mom, I'm like, I'm on set. I love you. I'll call her. Can I call her? She's like, she's in the hospital right now. And I'm like, okay. She's like, she's okay. She's like, you're working. Okay, you're working, baby. It's okay. And it was just so beautiful because that's like what's on the script and that's what we're building out on set. And this is the stories that we're telling. And it's very, very real. So, my message to a lot of people watching this is that as personal as your stories may be, they're so applicable to everyone. And another thing I love about working with Jason is that I'm never worried about who he brings onto the team. Like he said, we've done like 5-8 projects already together. My goodness. So I have a lot of trust in who he selects. So when I saw that Kia and Terry were selected, I was like, okay, we're going to be great. They're going to be great people. They're going to get their jobs done. They're going to be, and they, honestly, I think they probably like exceeded my expectations as cast. another thing that's so beautiful about this story is while it's about Joseph, Terry's character, and Terry, my goodness, incredible job. Like, I have one last thing to say and then I'll be quiet. But what's really beautiful about watching these characters and y'all exceeding expectations is that a lot of times when men tell stories, they don't know how to appropriately incorporate women, you know. And, you know, Jason and Terry are married, so maybe they have enough experience with women to kind of understand the honor and the collaboration that it takes to, you know, really honor and uplift women in their stories. And Kia's character Serenity is just so beautifully written, and it's just so important to me. Like, she's like a quiet anchor in the film that I really enjoyed. So Kia, thank you so much for the way that you managed her. Jason, thank you so much for the way that you portrayed her, and Kia, that you like really brought her to life and the way you wrote her. You know, a lot of times we need that friend, we need that support system, we need that person to kind of check us. And so it's just really beautiful that all of this came together. And Terry and Kia and Jason all really take feedback really, really well. And that's important because none of us are perfect. No matter how long we've been doing this, there are different stories that call for different parts of us and different visions. And working with Jason is as experienced as he is, he's always willing to learn. And so I see that in a lot of the cast members and the crew every time we're on set. So yeah, thank you.
What I like with everybody is like it's like a well-oiled engine. Everybody knows what part they play, and everybody is supporting each other. And your position is to support Jason's vision, but at the same time, your hand is in other things to make sure that this great thing is pushed properly, is promoted properly. And for someone who is thinking about creating a film, for what your position is, do you recommend them just do it themselves or have an EP to support them?
Is that for me or for
both answer? Go ahead.
Okay. You know, it's funny. I think working on anything, whether it be film, TV, whether it be your own personal business, I think when you find people who believe in what it is that you're doing to a point where they offer their services, and then for me, what was helpful and beneficial was as I worked with certain people, I found out what else they could do. And I think that was the biggest thing because for Mo, like I said, I brought Mo in as a writer for a TV show. And I remember asking her one day, I was like, hey, what do you think about producing a film? She's like, I am a producer. I was like, bruh, okay.
Surprise.
That ended that conversation.
Yeah.
And even like Iore, who we brought in as, I think at one point when we did 5 Out, she was our production coordinator. And then in this project, she was our first AD. Sometimes you don't know what your team is capable of until you find out for yourself and you ask. But for me, you can do it on your own. Don't get me wrong. Should you? No, because I've realized through my own personal experiences, you can wear 13 hats, but it looks like ridiculous craziness. It always looks good when you can just wear one. You don't have to wear 20. You don't have to wear 15. You can wear one and be happy with it. And I think that's what I wanted to do going into this project. I just wanted to wear one hat. I just wanted to direct. I didn't want to have to do none of the business stuff. I didn't want to have to do none of the DP stuff. I didn't want to have to do none of the other stuff. I was blessed to have the team that I have because of the fact that they came out and exceeded everything that I needed. And they were able to take on this project as if it was their own. And that is the benefit of being able to trust another person. You have to know that if you're going to trust someone, it's not until you can say they are taking on your stuff as their own. That's when the moment you can trust that person. And you'll know that very quickly because you'll find out if they are taking it on because they're like, oh, so what you want me to do next? oh, what you want me to do next? Versus, hey, so I was thinking, I think we can do this. Hey, I think we can do this. I was looking at this and this is what I came up with. That shows you that they took it upon themselves to dig deeper into it versus just saying, okay, cool. Yeah. What's next?
That initiative matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
I fully agree, and I'm sure Kia and Terry also have experience because, you know, even actors deserve to have like other abilities and explore their abilities. A lot of people in this industry go from being actors to producers because you spend so much time on set seeing it's like, oh my gosh, I could do this. But you have to like, first, you have to be able to listen. And so, kind of what to Jason was saying about initiative, how do you get to that point? Like, if you're watching this, right, how do you get to that point of Jason? Or like building that team to answer your question, Chan. And you know, I'm a professional engineer by trade, and I've been in this business for quite some time, but still always learning. And one thing is like the most barriers to any project is funding capital, right? Capital, right? Like that's at this level of independent artistry, and you know, even the Ryan Kuglers are like, okay, how do we get this funded, right? Um, and so what happens is the way around that obstacle is your relationships and your story, right? And so Jason is always very particular about, hey, this is the story. Here's my goal. I want to get you paid. I want it, but will you work with me on this so that we can do this right for everyone, but to tell the story, because that's always the goal. And so, you know, my answer to your question is absolutely don't do it alone. But if you have, might be a time to look into as to how you're building your relationships around you and what you're telling your story and how you're telling your story and how you're kind of pitching yourself to people and what you're building. So definitely don't do it alone. The filmmaking process, all film and TV, is literally a community experience. It's literally based on collaboration. It's based on meshing multiple personalities into one room for 15 hours. It's crazy. So I do recommend, like Jason said, you're supposed to pay people and share things with people so that they can do it, because there's a lot of things that you can do that someone else can do better than you. And that should make you comfortable. That should make you happy. Like, oh my gosh, I'm able to bring this person on because they're better than me at this. And I can learn and I can grow and my project will be its best. So that's my answer on that.
Yeah. And I'll add one more thing too. Just because someone is doing something for you does not mean that you can't do it as well. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people tend to think, well, if that person does it, then I don't need to know about it. No, I'm sorry. Just because you aren't doing it does not mean that you still can't know about that, because that's the easiest way for people to take advantage of you in this industry.
Yes.
If you tell yourself, I want to be a producer, but I don't know how, so let me bring on somebody, right? You should know the basics of being a producer. That way, that person that you bring in as a producer does not sit there and shortchange you or take advantage of you, because there are a lot of things that people can do to take your creativity. And I was saying this in the 12 Kyle podcast. I said, don't sell your authenticity, because Hollywood wants to buy it. Mm-hmm. Hollywood wants to buy your authenticity, and they will pay big bucks for it and then grab it from you and turn it into whatever it is that they want. And it no longer is your story. And it's like, you got nothing else to say.
Right.
So don't be afraid to learn the different aspects of film and TV, but you don't have to do it all. Just know the information. That's the key part. Just know, so that when something happens, you can say, I know that's not right. Mm-hmm. Because I've done it, or I know about that. I know that you don't need to have this much time. I know that you don't need to charge me this much, because you already know. So that's what I add to that.
And I think that too is a respect level. Like, if everybody knows what goes into what you do, I'm going to respect you a bit more for it. You know, if everybody knows what the next person needs to do, I'm going to respect them a bit more for it. And I think that's why, you know, you have people with egos thinking, oh, I don't need you. I don't need this, or I can do this. Well, take the knowledge. Even if you don't use it, have the knowledge.
Yeah.
You know? But when it came to how this film was going to be funded, what were the options, and what were the options that you guys took to make sure it got too worked out?
So funding is such a touchy subject. I'm gonna have to, our fearless leader, Jason does a really great job. I'm talking about him again. Jason, we're gonna talk all about you today. So funding, while it can feel like very restricting, if you have the right people around you, it's actually very freeing and exciting to go and get people to commit. And because again, Jason has been doing this for so long, um, talking to him about how we're promoting, how we're getting people to join, and being honest about the capital that we need to like get to hire the right people and pay the right people and let just people sit in their artistry, right? The funding allows you to just be an artist, right? And so it's my job to remove all that worry and say, got this, we got this. You just go be the director, the writer. You just go, Kia, and be Serenity every minute we're on set. And so going about funding, there's an endless way to go about it. There's endless, possibilities and stuff. And we all try to be very creative with getting funding. Again, it's those relationships. People don't understand what relationship capital is, but it's people that are giving you money. It's not this random like robot or AI. So it's telling your story. It's reaching out. It's almost a little bit of like, it's a humbling in a way that like, I need you for this, but let me show you. You're not selling yourself. You're saying, hey, partner with me on this. Do you believe in what's on this paper right now? Do you believe in the script and the story? Have you ever related to any experience like this? And Jason is just so good about sharing great stories. Number one, you have to have a great story. But also like just being dedicated to like, hey, not necessarily. It's important to not like Jason was saying, not sell yourself in the way that you're like sacrificing your authenticity to get capital and funding. But you definitely want to make like, hey, this is how this will benefit you. Here's the plan that we have. Here's who I have on board. These people are great. They're dedicated. They're going to do their jobs. They're going to be great on screen and be a part of that. So it's really kind of packaging, and different projects that I've worked on need different packaging because they're led in different ways. But for That's Life specifically, it was very much just about, hey, have you ever had a relationship in which you might have regretted something, in which you might have said, hey, I need one more chance I wish I had one more chance to speak to you. And that's the kind of selling point that's stuck for a lot of people without sacrificing anything, without us having to beg or anything like that. Because I know a lot of people feel like a lot of barriers, especially people entering the industry. They're like, well, what do you mean? Like, what do I do to get funding? It's like, just tell your story and say, hey, you would benefit from being a part of this project.
Nice. Have you guys ever had repeated people like invest in film?
Yeah.
That's good. So it's like a network of, I worked with you before, here are the results, and then people get to see like, it was great last time, I want to do it again and support you.
And you hit on something very important about like having those repeat sponsors and investors and partners on a film. And again, that's what Jason builds, that dedication and that drive. People know that. So it's easy. It's the conversation is what? 2 emails and a phone call. And it's like, yeah, I'm in. Cool. This Jason? I'm in.
Nice. That's good. So you guys said y'all got this done in a day. How was that? How was the flow of that?
You know what? Before we even say anything, I'm gonna let Terry and Kia say something about that because they was on set for the whole day from 7 a.m. almost 7:30 a.m. to like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let them handle that part of it first because I want to hear what their experiences was too.
Okay.
I mean, what's the magic phrase for actors? And Kia maybe can attest to that. But it's as an actor on a set, most of the time is hurry up and wait. So we trying to figure out what we gonna do to stay in character. But the beautiful thing about someone as great as Kia, we get to chit chatting about certain things, in our lives where we where we come from and things like that. Like Kia, you said you're Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
And I'm from Texas, and it was like an Oklahoma-Texas rivalry. Like we get into stuff like that helps pass the time, but also build that connection. Because Joseph and Serenity could have very well be talking about something like that. Like when you see the film, you'll see that they were cool like that and everything like that. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but that was the benefit of that. Now, if for some reason me and our characters hated each other, I'm not the most method actor, but I'm like, that'll be hard. It's like, because if Kia was method, it's like, I hate you right now, so I can't talk to you. Then I'm like, oh, when the next time, I guess I go to Crafty now. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? And so, but as far as like the set was really efficient. Like I feel like, and Jason, maybe you can attest to it. And Monique, you had the eagle eye of everything. It was smooth. It was a smooth operation, man. Everybody was cool. There was no jerks on set. Nobody was being a butthole or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So everybody was cool. Everybody was like, it was real family oriented and things like that. And I know Paul's not here, but me and Paul had some great conversation and things like that. And then the funny thing was, me and Paul was running lines, and Paul was a little nervous, like, man, I don't know if I'm getting these lines, because he was flubbing a little bit. But when Jason called action, Paul just dropped right into it, didn't miss a beat. Scared me, literally. I'm like, wait a minute. And
oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, as an actor, because I'm a fan too. Like, and so when you're doing a great job as my partner across from me, sometimes you get me out of character. It might not show my face, but in my mind, I'm like, damn, you care?
Yeah.
And like, oh, I got a line, my bad. So what did you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's a challenge of myself. Like, because I'm a fan. I was a fan first. That's why, since I was 8 years old and been doing this, I was a fan of this. So I love to see it. And that's how I know that we're going to have a good piece of work, because like that fanboy in me, that little 10-year-old that was just watching movies, as a kid and everything, he was present and enjoying everybody's work, and the whole atmosphere of everybody it was just great. It was one of the better sets that I've been on in recent memory. And I'm not just saying that either, Jason, like y'all, like that was a real good vibe, and everything was chill and relaxed. I know it might've been some kinks or something that, Monique and Jason might have seen that me and Kia didn't, which is just a testament to their leadership skills. They're not going to let the actors know if something went wrong or anything like that. We just going to get it done. And so, yeah, like I said, I would, I would definitely do that again, because that's my type of set and environment.
Yeah. I knew it was going to be a good day when I walked in and the music was playing, and I was like, yes.
Yeah,
that's a must on every set.
Yes, set the vibes with the music, because we had the first few hours of building the set, and everybody was doing their job. And like we were talking about earlier, the well-oiled machine that our set day was, you had costumes. They were doing fittings and steaming and ironing and putting accessories on us. And you look to the right and you have your team is painting and building and literally putting the walls together. And then you look over here and Mo's just like doing what she got to do on the computer and, running stuff. And Jason's like, all right, here's my shot list for the day. And, you look over and sound is getting his equipment together. Like everybody was prepping what they needed to do. And so for me, I was like, I like seeing this, because I've definitely been on sets where I'm like, hey, what time is it? What are we doing? What are we going? Or because that hurry up and wait does apply to actors. They're like, all right, your call time is 7 and you're not going to be on set until, 6 p.m. And I'm just like, what do I do? Yeah. But yeah, no, we were really well. And like Terry said, for us as actors, Serenity and Joseph do have that connection. But just as people, as Kia and Terry, we were talking and laughing and joking, and Maria and Paul too, getting to know each other. And that's a beautiful thing about sets like this, because of those connections, you never know where it takes us. Terry and I ended up talking about, something that he's working on and a project that he wants to do. And I was like, yo, invite me to that whenever that thing happens. And which Terry still.
No, it's still happening. I think I locked down. We'll talk about it offline.
But you didn't do that yet, did you? But like, it's stuff like that where it's like, hey, yeah, we're here to work, but we're also here to network and connect and to build and do projects later, which is why you have people like Jason and Monique who have done 8 projects together, because that first one, and they keep talking, and they built that relationship. So yeah, we had fun on set. We were also doing all the BTS pictures and videos.
Oh man,
goofing around and doing the silly interviews and the hey, let me ask you a question, and like
exactly.
Just stuff like
I
that.
wanted to say something too, Kia. And this is for everybody. I knew that I was gonna love working with Kia when we found out that we both are in love with SpongeBob SquarePants. We would do a SpongeBob quote in between takes.
God,
Jason, I said one quote, and I think Kia broke right before you called action. We had to gather ourselves, and I'm like, see, this is my kind of set. These are my people, right? It could be silly like that.
Oh
so,
man,
back and forth SpongeBob. It was a great time.
They're like, back to one. All right, camera rolling,
Yeah.
sound,
Oh my
action.
God.
We're just like, what? SpongeBob.
Yeah,
playing.
exactly.
Okay, drop the SpongeBob. Go back into character. Okay, I'm Serenity
Yeah.
again. Hello. Like it's like
That's how you keep your sanity too, like, because it
yeah.
gets
Oh
deep.
my
You know, you don't know it
goodness.
got deep on set a couple times, so we had
Nah,
to, you know.
I was unaware. Oh my goodness.
Just check all the raw footage. You might catch the SpongeBob at the very beginning of all the clips while they're doing the slate. Take 3 where the back just like cracking up. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that. Now it gives me a whole purpose
I
to
was
put
like, I
behind the
want to go
scenes
to
stuff.
Jason. You got to send me some of the stuff that I want to.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That's
Yeah.
Y'all should add it in like bloopers.
Oh yeah, definitely. I kid you not. I think I was looking at one of them. I think one of the curses got it, and Kia is whispering to Maria interview while the cameras are rolling, and she's like, "Hey, Maria." I was like, "Oh, goodness gracious!" I'm like, "This is too much." I'm like, "This is," but it was that type of atmosphere where everybody felt free to be able to do that, and honestly, being on set that full day was a lot of work, but it did not feel like a 12-hour day. It did not feel like a 14-hour day. It really felt like a few hours, because it's like everything was just rolling. Like we got in, they started working on the walls, they started painting, they started tacking up everything, they taped everything off. Monique was grabbing everything. Funny thing is, enough, I got to set, I forgot something, went right back home to come back, and came back. And it didn't feel like I was gone for that long. It was like, that's just how efficient I wanted it to be, because I didn't want to waste anyone's time. That's the biggest thing that I'm looking at. Like, how do I put this in a place where I don't waste anyone's time? Because I want people to be able to do what they're supposed to do. And I've been working on teams forever and a day, and this is the basketball part of me. If I have to do what you're doing, I can't do what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
So I need you to do that. And I think we even had that conversation at the table read, and also at the thing where at the set. Like, I was like, hey, our job here is to do what we have to do. I need everyone to come in ready to go once you guys get to set, because it's important for us to be able to do that so that we could make this as efficient as possible. And with everything that happened, the ironic part was we finished 2 minutes before 9:00. Right before we were supposed to end, we finished 2 minutes right before we were supposed to end. And that's a real testament to Iore and Monique for keeping the ball rolling. Because there's moments where I'm like, nah, I gotta, and then she was like, no, we gotta go. I'm like, okay. All right, cool. Okay, let's just go. And then we'll do that, right? And it's like, and then you start to feel, okay, I have been on set for this long. But generally, it was a wonderful experience because I was working with people I've known. Like, shout out to our gaffer and grip, Brian. The craziest part is I've known Brian since he was 2 years old. I coached him in basketball, and he never stayed with it, but his brother did. And his brother is my actual barber, which is crazy. But everything happens for a reason. So when I told him, I'm like, yo, I have a project I want you to work on. It was great to finally work with him, because it's like, Brian, I know you since you had snot in your nose. Now you on set setting up the lights. Like, I remember that stuff, and it's like that was helpful for me. And then I think the biggest pleasure for me was being able to work alongside my wife, who was the art director who built the set. My God, I mean, just the conversations that we had, and just in the ability to be flexible. And I think at one point we were looking to get chairs, and Mo was helping us out, and we were like, these can't fit in the car. So we were like, let's grab the other ones. And we grabbed the other ones. They were like, these are better anyway. We just rolled with it and took it, and we did what we needed to do. I even have like the videos of us at Home Depot, and it's like, it was beneficial to be able to work with her. But that's the type of environment that we were able to create, because everyone knew they had a job to do, and no one cared about how they did it. They were like, let me do whatever I need to do to make sure this is the best it can be. And we killed it. We killed it on set that day. We killed it on set. My goodness. I think there's moments where I was sitting there. I think I will tell you this. The temperature changed twice. The temperature changed the first time when it was Terry and Paul. And Paul was saying his lines, and Paul was like, saying, and I'm like, hey, so you're a military man. You are talking to your grandson. You need to let him know tough love. Mm-hmm. We said action, and all the bass out of his voice came out. We were all like, oh.
You asked for it.
Oh, like we felt it all in our soul. It was just like, and I looked at Terry and he was like,
I turned to a 7-year-old boy, Jason, when he did that. I was like, wait a minute. It's my grandpa. I started straightening up. I was like, yes, sir.
I was like, yo, that one direction changed the rest of his performance. And then the other time was when Terry had the moment that he got the call. And he said, yo, I need one good time to do this. And we said, okay. And we got through the part and we shot this on a wide and we gave it to Terry. You ready? He was like, yes. And he literally did that scene. And as soon as he was done, it was complete silence on the set for about 15 seconds after. And nobody said anything. Nobody moved. And then the exhale came. And then everybody was like, whew. And even at the end of the day, our script supervisor, Kenya, she came up to us and said, I couldn't have watched y'all do that one more time because it was that powerful. And I said, that tells you a lot because she didn't have to tell us that. And she came and told us that. And that was like, that helped me understand that scene is going to hit everyone.
And Jason, I also wanted to commend the whole entire crew, team, cast, every time, because when we did that, everybody gave me what I personally needed in that moment. And it was like, I felt like it was a gift from God because not a cell phone chirped, nothing happened. I was in my own little zone where I feel like I was solo on set for a second. But the fact that any little thing could have like kind of taken you out of it. And I'm just so respectful that nobody barely even, I don't even know if y'all was breathing the whole time I was there. Like, it was like quiet where you can, like my coach used to say, it was so quiet you could hear a mouse pee on a cotton ball. Like, it was that quiet. And like that respect and that y'all gave me and that opportunity allowed me to get to that place that I knew was going to be heavy. And that's why I was like, bro, Jason, just give me one. I'm going to give you everything in that one.
That one take, Jake.
Yeah, because I don't know. I would be, I had to call EMS if I had to give you another take because I just knew what I had to do because to get there and really get over what Joseph was feeling in that moment. And again, I'm trying to speak around it because I don't want to spoil it. I want everybody to see it. But I just want to commend and applaud and thank every single soul that was on set that day because y'all definitely served it up on a silver platter as far as what I needed personally in that moment.
I think, Chan, to your question, right, because it was really about like how it felt to be on set that day and what it takes. Thank you all so much. I do take it very seriously, the feedback that I get from how everyone felt on set. Everyone has lives, outside of this set, but when we're there, we're dedicated to Jason's story and bringing that to life. And everyone making sure that they accept their roles is very important. Like Jason was saying, that film is a very collaborative, and I don't know if people understand what collaboration is. It means knowing what you are supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do too. Right. And being in community, people think like, I need the village to show up for me. No, you need to be a villager. You need to be also giving your part in your community as well. And so that's what a day on set is. But I'm going to tell you the real movie magic. All of the movie magic happens in pre-pro. That's why the production, the day, however, weeks, months, it is all in the preparation. And it's me and Jason talking every day, all day till 11 p.m. at night. Weeks leading up to shoot, like, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing. Okay, is this going to work? Okay, I got this sign, I got this. Okay, we got snaps, we got this. And that's why, thank you, Terry, for what you said. I think Kia too, just like everything that you saw, the seamlessness of that day took weeks and weeks of preparation before that. So that on that day, and I told people this, I said, today, any obstacle that we couldn't have planned for is my responsibility, but everything else we've planned for. So I want to make sure that we're able to do what we need to do. because life is going to happen. And so anything else that comes up, we have the space for that because we already planned all this. We already did everything. So you can just come on and do your job and know what you're not supposed to do, right? Like Jason, I love that you said that. If I have to do everything else, I'm not going to do what I do best and well. And so it was really nice to have that. And I think that's why everyone was like, this was such a great set and I would always come back. And so that's kind of my job and my goal. Like that's, if there's any like start and stop criteria for me, if there's like, hey, what do I need to learn? It's like, well, would people be on your set again? For Jason's, stories and stuff like that. Cause I'm always gonna, Jason, you got me. If you want me to be on another project, I got you. But
We
yes,
already know. We already got 6 lined up. We already know.
right. How exciting. But yeah, if you're listening to this, everything happens in pre-pro for real. And even the veterans in the game will tell you what you do in pre-pro will determine exactly what your set and your production days look like.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So what is like the next thing for this film? How are you guys pushing it? Like what's like next that you want to do for this film to come out and be its best and touch as many eyes and ears?
It's quite a few things, but mainly just pushing it out as much as possible. Interviews and situations like this where we're able to talk about it, right? Some people don't realize when you create something, for it to go from an idea to an actual physical thing, whether it be a script, whether it be you created a playground, whether it be you invented something, you're going to want to talk about it. You're going to want to let people know about it, right? And then you have to find the right people to talk to about it. And I think that was the biggest thing that I had to really, really focus on. So when I went to Baylor, I've known Baylor for over 15 years. So it's like when I went to him about it, and we talked about it, he's like, I got you. I'm gonna make a few phone calls. And I'm like, okay, this is what the fifth or sixth interview I've done in the last 2 months, right? And I'm like, yo, this is amazing because it's allowing me the room and the visibility that most indie filmmakers don't realize that they'll need. Mm-hmm. This is important. It's important to be able to share with the world what it is that you have in a way where people don't feel like you're forcing it down their throats. Mm-hmm. And this is a very, very impactful story that sells itself. I don't even have to talk about this project, right? Because I can easily ask one question and it'll get everyone talking. But the fact that I have the ability to be able to discuss this is huge. And the next things we have, of course, are the festivals. We have premiere dates. We're going to have the red carpet premiere, which is going to be amazing. We're going to have our rap party, which is going to be amazing. But I think the biggest thing is being able to see what the next steps of the story is from a creative standpoint. Because outside of the premiere, outside of the film festivals, outside of the screenings, there still is the story. And the story is being extended into a theater play. Right. And in that theater play, we are going to be introducing 3 new characters. And Serenity, you're going to love your new character. And Joseph is not. Because we're introducing Serenity's older sister. And that one's going to be a very, very interesting point of the story, because that essentially helps create where Joseph is in his life by the time that the short film happens. But we also introduce his agent, and then we also introduce, I believe it is the doctor who diagnoses Frank in the first place. And I believe there's one other character that we're planning to introduce as we go, but we're extending the story for that reason, because there's so much more to the story that needs to be told. But there's a part of the story that a lot of people don't see from this short, right? They don't see what led to Joseph becoming who he is. It doesn't talk about what it's like for minority business owners, Black minority business owners, to be able to have their business and be successful. And then for like Serenity, who she is a psych student as well as running an agency. What is it like for that? You know, what mental health aspects does she go into? There's so much that we are going to talk about and cover. And the ironic part is, and Mo doesn't know this either, we're actually going to tie in this story to our next theater play, 12 Black People. Because what I realized is,
I'm excited. I'm really excited for y'all to see 12 Black People.
12 Black People is going to be something else. We'll give you the sneak peek, Shan. All right. We'll give you the exclusive sneak peek for that. But it's going to tie into it only because I love the fact that all my stories, all the grounded stories can live in one reality.
Yeah. It's connected.
And I think that's the beautiful thing, right? Because at the end of the day, we all watch Marvel. We're all fans of Marvel. And we all love the fact that you can watch Iron Man and then see the Hulk in there. Then you watch Spider-Man and see the Punisher in there. Yeah. Then you watch, something else and you see another character. You watch Black Panther, you see the Winter Soldier. And it's like, you start to see and you connect the dots and like, oh, this is great. And it's the universe, right? But for me, I just want to bring everyone into a world that I've built. So the same world That's Life exists in is the same world that Me, Myself, and Guys exists in, which is the same world that The Rule exists in, which is the same world that Checklist exists in, which is the same world that a lot of the projects that I work on exist in, if it's not literally detailed for it to be a certain amount of time. But I do that because that's just the fun child imaginative part of me. I just love connecting dots. I live and I was raised on Tetris, so it's natural for me to bring everything together.
Bars.
It's so important that we tell our stories from start to end, in and out.
Yeah.
We push our stories, not saying no one from any other culture can, but we're the best people too, because we know who the audience is.
Yeah.
We know what the experiences are, and we know what respect we have in the creation of it. And me listening to everybody's experiencing this, everybody respects each other, and that's why it flowed like it did. Everybody wanted the best for this film, and that's why it flowed like it did. And when you're creating something that's important to one person, it becomes important to all. This is what happens. And I wish you guys the best in this, the next thing that you do, the next project, because it's an example of this is what could happen if we push our stories regardless of what challenge is in front of us. And what I'm tired of as a viewer, as someone that loves art, is repeated stories that someone already created 20 years ago. Somebody else is doing it over. We don't need more do-overs. It was great as is. Let's come with some new ideas, because we have so many creators out here with fresh ideas with no support. And everyone here supported each other to make this be what it needed to be. So I just wish you guys all the best. I love the concept. That's why when Baylor brought it up, I was like, yes, I want to talk about it. So going forward, I want you to tell the people where people can find you, where people can find any details on this film, even if people wanted to support it, how they can find you guys, because I don't want great things like this to sit and be what it could have been. You guys already did the work, you know what I'm saying? So it's up to a community outside of who you know to push this the way it needs to be pushed.
Yeah. I could give so we just dropping like our socials where people can find us.
Socials, however people want to connect with you guys, and however this can be pushed, how it needs to be pushed.
Okay, great. Because and then I'll bounce out of this because I gotta get ready for my
Yeah.
son's B day. But yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Terry Wayne the number two, Terry Wayne the 2. That's where I keep all my stuff. That's how you can update, stay with me personally. I know, and I know Jason will talk about this too. But we also have the personal sites of That's Life um and our social media handles too that they can follow on Instagram. And yeah, I would just love everybody to be able to support, share it with someone that whether that's for you or with someone you know that this can help and things like that. Because when we get to debut this thing, that we promise that it's you're gonna leave with something. Like I said, that's what we wanted to go in there with. And so yeah, so we just ask, the beautiful people out there listening to this or watching this to be able to support it and like support black artists, so black support black stories, and let's do it. Like they say, we all we got. And happy belated
Yes,
Juneteenth too.
indeed.
Yeah. But thank y'all so much, family, for having us on and everything like that. I'm a bounce, but don't be a strangers. And Jason, I know we always be linked. Kia, Monique, I will see y'all later and talk to y'all later. But thank y'all so much for having me.
Thank you.
Deuces.
All right. I'm gonna go next.
Go ahead.
Jason, last, so go ahead, Kia, and then I'll go. Jason.
Yeah, my Instagram is at Kia D Smiley Face because I'm a goober and I smile a lot. And then I made that handle when I was in high school. Okay, don't judge me. And then I have my website. It's just kiadorsey.com. I try to update my website with all the projects that I have going on. So yeah, whenever we have information about this and where it's going and festivals and things like that, I usually just upload all that to my website as well. If you're interested in me as an actor.
Yes, please hire this girl.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Monique again. Monique Palma, the EP of That's Life. I founded What We Watch in 2020. It's really just this really beautiful community of people that love to talk about film and TV, like you, Chan. So thank you for having us. I have a film festival, my 4th annual film festival, Los Angeles' own film festival, October 3rd. So expect a lot of great sneak peeks and things from That's Life there. So my website is whatwewatch.net. Stay tuned, bookmark that. Right now we're taking submissions, and it is a short film festival, so it's really great. I'm obsessed with short films. Every creator starts with a short film to get to that kind of goal. So for the goals for this project, definitely just connect with us. Follow us on social media so that you can kind of see what next steps that you can be involved in, and hire us for any projects that you have, and so we can collaborate too. My personal Instagram is Miss Peacherino, MS Peach ERINO. And then What We Watch's page is www Film TV. So we're going to be posting quite a few things about the next, parts of this project for That's Life, clips from the podcast and things like that. I want to really quickly shout out to everyone. Thank you so much for donating and being a backer on Kickstarter. Just shout out to y'all. Y'all made this possible. Again, just everything in film is a community. It's a village. It's everyone's involvement makes these things possible. So thank you so much. But yeah, that's me, and that's how you can support That's Life.
That's awesome. I definitely wanted to give another shout out to the entire team. From the cast to the crew, from the process to the pre-production to the production to now in the hands of our editor. My God, it has been a journey so far, right? And I'm excited for the next steps. But if anyone wants to get, information on the film, they can go to Instagram, and it is That's Life Film Project. If you want to learn anything about that. If you also want to just keep up to date with their production company, you can go to Acknowledge Productions. It's ACT Knowledge Productions. And then for me is I'm Acknowledge It. So it's ACT Knowledge IT. And that's on Twitter as well. I still call it Twitter. I don't call it X no more. It's not even need to. But I honestly love everything about this project. Yeah, And then for you, because I promised this for you, we have a special exclusive for you. So a project that we're working on that we're going to connect to That's Life. It's a project called 12 Black People. And this project is going to be a very, very interesting, but very controversial project. I'm going to just put it to you like this. Black people better beware because I'm putting everything on Front Street. That's all I'm going to say. If you've ever seen the movie 12 Angry Men, you'll have a basis for what 12 Black people is going to be. What happens when you have 12 Black people in a room and they can't go nowhere? And they all got problems with each other.
They start sharing. They start giving you a point of view.
That's what this project is going to be about. It's all centered around this woman who has just received an award, this almost lifetime achievement award. Her name is Valentina, and she and her friends go to this bodega to go eat, and something happens and they can't leave, and it's a bunch of Black people in there, and one conversation ends up becoming another conversation, and it ends up becoming another conversation, and then it just goes around the room. And then by the end of it, it's going to be one of those things where it's a powder keg. And the reason why this is going to be very important is because, and Mo and I were very specific about this, you're going to have a representation of just about as many Black people as possible. You're going to have the Black, half white. You're going to have the ghetto Black person. You're going to have the educated Black person. You're going to have the Black person that is coming from the church. You're going to have the hard worker. You're going to have the police officer. You're going to have the socialite. You're going to have the young one. You're going to have the playboy. You're going to have a mix of so many different characters. And the beautiful part about it is you're going to see when all these people come together. Generally, we're not different than anyone else.
Right.
We've just experienced it different than everyone else. That's the key, right? A lot of people look at us and determine, oh, you don't know what it's like over here. What are you talking about? We know exactly what it's like. We just experienced it differently than you did. But we understand that. And I think that's going to be the beautiful part about this story. So when we have more information on that story, we'll make sure that we drop it on your platform. And when that's ready to go, we're gonna give you some exclusives. But that is the next project after That's Life. One of the next projects after That's Life. So Kia, get ready for that one because you're gonna enjoy that one too. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I told you it's connected, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why it's connected. There's a reason why it's connected because Serenity is actually going to be in that movie.
Chan, I'm really excited for you. I know you don't know what's about to come, but I'm really excited.
I feel like I have
Jason giving you the exclusive.
Yeah.
I think just real quick from that, for 12 Black people, it's important for us to kind of tell the story that Black people are not a monolith. While we are unified and we share a lot of experiences through our ancestry and just like shout out to every beautiful soul that makes what we're doing here today possible, right? That look like us and have our same phenotypes and our same like blood and stuff. It's a very beautiful thing, but we are not a monolith. And I think it's important, and I'm excited to share that story with Jason, that can still be unity in the differences through, skin color, hair type, backstory, access to wealth, lack of access to wealth and resources, where you grew up in America and things like that. So very, very exciting. Shout out to all Black people.
I was gonna say, like, I'm tired of people portraying Blackness in like one route. Like, no, there's so many levels of us. And then for me, having two Caribbean parents born in the United States, it's always this, are you Jamaican or are you American? and why isn't it like this? There's no one way to be anything. It's a different experience for everybody. So I get that. I'm already like trying to see it in my mind. I already know like it's going to be good, and what it's going to do is make people leave from seeing it rethinking how they think about Blackness. And that is something that needs to happen. It's been overdue.
Yeah. I think honestly, when you think about something like that, the reason why I say it'll be controversial is because there are some aspects of our Blackness that Black people don't want to share because they don't feel like the world is ready yet. And they couldn't be further from the truth. I think for all the things that have taken place in this world for as long as history has been made, right? Black people have been at the center of a lot of it. We don't get a lot of the recognition or the credit, but we've been at the center of a lot of it.
Right.
The reality that we all have to face is sometimes, especially now, there's no room to be silent, and there's no room to be apologetic, and there's definitely no room to be casual. Like, I'm Black, and the world gonna know I'm Black, and everything. I mean, the way it's gonna look like, if I had to paint a picture, right? This is a storyteller in me. I'm looking at Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, and I'm looking at that moment where you are looking at the desert and there's nothing, and you don't see nothing for miles, and then all of a sudden you see John Boyega's character just jump up. You're like, what? And it's just like in the middle of what you already feel like is this planet or this world, then Black people show up. That's what I'm looking to do. I'm going to pop up and bring this story when people think everything is calm.
Nice.
We're going to talk about Black people. I'm going to talk about why Black people tend to not support each other as much as they should. We're going to talk about why Black people don't like other people saying the N-word. We're going to talk about all these things. And as controversial as it is, we want to make sure that people understand that the story has an intention behind it. That's to showcase every single way Black people are in this world. There's full-blooded Black people. We all like to say we're full-blooded Black people, but I mean, realistically, there's Southern roots, there's Caribbean roots, there's European roots for some of these people. Like, we're all over the place. But for me being Afro-Latino, or for me being Panamanian American, it's a blessing to be able to embrace that. Because a lot of times, and Mo, I don't know if you probably do this, but for me, at one point, people are going to think, well, you're not Black enough for your Black side of the family. Oh, you're not Latin enough for your Latin side of the family. Oh, you don't speak Spanish? I thought you were from Panama. What? And it's just all these questions. And it's like, bro, before you even try to break your head over who you think I am, let me tell you who I am.
Yeah.
And that's what this is, right? This movie is me letting the world know this is who Black people are. Not what you think. We are not just juice. We are not just loving basketball. We are not just going home to go in the hood and drink Kool-Aid. This is not just house party. This is we more than that, right? And that's what I want people to be able to experience and take away from that film, 12 Black People. That one is going to shake people. They're going to take their stereotypes, their thoughts, their understanding to the core. And I'm excited for that. I'm really gonna look at that like the Joker did when he lit something on fire. I'm gonna just look at it from a distance and be like, okay, yeah, that's gonna that's gonna be good. Cause that's what it's gonna be like. I'm gonna set something on fire and I'm gonna just watch it.
Yeah.
And watch everybody scatter.
Yeah. There's a lot of elephant in the room conversations that
yes,
so much growth in it, and they're being avoided, and that film is going to put it on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone should watch 12 Angry Men to kind of see, and then just like times that by 10.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So Kia, you ready for that?
Yeah, I'm already thinking of who Serenity is and like what she would say being in a room with 12 other people. Like her being a psych student, she's just like, okay, everybody calm down. Everybody, let's think about this. Let's think about this. Shut up. Calm down.
It's going to be interesting because you're going to see a different layer of Serenity. I just have to figure out which layer of Serenity I want to show.
Nice.
But it's going to be very interesting. And I know you're going to enjoy that one because it's going to be very theater oriented.
Yep.
And is going to be one of those things where you just gotta just go. Okay, what's next? Okay, and then it's gonna float around. So as we talk about more details, and I'll give y'all more insight, but it's gonna be a wonderful project, and that one's going to man. If you thought Black Klansman was crazy, just wait till this one come out.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for your time and talking to me today about this project. I appreciate it. I will definitely let you guys know when I drop this. I'm already like envisioning the edit, so it's gonna be good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
For having us.
Yeah.
Enjoy your afternoon and stay great and keep rolling out these projects. We need them.
Yes, we got you covered.
Thank you. Yeah. That is a wrap on that. That was great. I'm looking forward to seeing this film. I'm looking forward to the next project they were talking about. It was great speaking to all of them, and I even got some insight on what the creation process is, and I hope you did too. Next episode will be episode 10. Thank you for checking out the Créateur Podcast. You can find me at shambypodden.com, at shambypodden on IG, Twitter, and yeah. Appreciate you. Keep creating.